Yeah. This is Dan of 𝗙𝗥𝗲𝗄𝐻.
𝗕𝐿 from 𝗂𝐎𝐻 𝐎venture.
And in this video, we'd like to discuss the best beaches, the best highlands, and the best colonial era cities in Central America.
Yes.
We spent 280 days of 2021 in Central America, and now this is the juicy part. We get to tell you what our favorite places were. And so we're going to rank each of those three categories separately. And at the end of the video, we're going to talk about some of the things that annoy us about Central America.
You know why I keep laughing?
Why?
We are in Asia, we talk about Central America. when we in Latin America, we talk about Asia.
We're worldly people. All right, let's get this party started. Sure. Now, in the beach category, we're going to include lakes.
Yeah.
Because
any place near water. That's
near water, yeah. Cities on water. How's that?
Yes.
Okay. And I should also say that we're going to include Dominican Republic in these three categories, because we want to talk about Dominican Republic, and we're not going to have enough places in the Caribbean, and it's in Central America area anyway, and so we'll talk about it, and it's cheap, so we're going to include it in this too. What was your favorite water town in Central America?
You were starting from the low favorites to the high favorite?
Yeah, we could do that. Let's do that.
Okay.
That's good. What was your least favorite? Now remember, these are the 5 best of all the countries that we visited. So even if it's least favorite, like number 5 of the 5, it still means we like it.
It's in our list, like on the top 5.
Yeah.
My number 5 is 𝗘𝐻.
Same here.
Same.
𝗘𝐻 is in Costa Rica. You probably heard of Manuel Antonio. It's a beautiful area. 𝗘𝐻 is a little town near Manuel Antonio, and it's just a beautiful part of Costa Rica. And we found it to be more authentically Costa Rican and less touristy.
Yes.
And so that's why it was my favorite beach in Costa Rica. Most of the other ones are just so touristy and just really kind of turned me off.
Oh, because in 𝗘𝐻 they have transportation. The bus transportation is cheap, so it's easy for transportation. That's why I love it.
You can move to the beach and back very easily, grocery stores. And then in 𝗘𝐻 itself, there's all these great little local restaurants with reasonable price food and shopping, and it's more Costa Rican, less touristy.
Yes.
My number 4 is Las Terrenas in Dominican Republic.
Mine also is La Terrenas.
Yeah? That was a gorgeous beach. And it felt safe. It was like a beautiful little community. Total white sand beaches, had a little bit of a nightlife, but not crazy.
Yes.
And it just felt like a place that you could call home.
Yes, because we feel comfortable when we walk in the dark. When I got drunk and then walk to a place, eat the street food and go home.
Yeah.
And also our driver drive us, they say that La Terrenas is a safer town in the whole Dominican Republic.
The whole country?
The whole country.
Yeah, we walked around at night. We didn't really feel intimidated at all. It's quite nice.
It's quite nice.
What's your number 3?
My
Moving
number 3
up to 1.
Is Boca del Toro.
Boca del Toro?
Yeah.
Okay. Boca del Toro was my number 2, but let's talk about it now. Boca del Toro is in Panama. It's on the Caribbean side of Panama. We're talking white sand beaches. And there's a cute little village there called Boca's Town with food from all over the world. And the water taxis to take you to all those little islands around there. It was very charming.
Everyone speaks English over there.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
Yes, because
there's so many tourists.
No, it's a lot of expat over there.
Yeah, it's a big expat. Big expat.
It's a big expat place.
And so that's your number
3,
and it's my number 2.
What is your number?
My number 3 is San Juan del Sur, Nicaragua.
San Juan del Sur is my number 2.
It's your number 2.
Yes.
San Juan del Sur is a beautiful beach community in the southern part of Nicaragua, just a little north of Costa Rica, and it's also an expat community.
Yes. But it's cheaper than the Costa Rica and Panama.
Way cheaper.
The food is better.
Way cheaper. And it felt more Nicaraguan. Even though there were tourists there, even though there were a lot of expats that lived there, it felt really Nicaraguan, which I really like.
Yeah, they say San Juan del Sur is a big expat places in Nicaragua, but still it's not really that very aspect. It's very local feeling.
Yeah.
With $1 beer on the beach.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, $1 beers on the beach, amazing sunsets. And I would say that the expats that you meet there are more traveled people.
Yes.
They're not expecting Nicaragua to cater to them.
Yes.
They're more willing to cater,
Yes.
which makes it more interesting in many ways.
That's true.
Yeah. And so, well, we've talked about our number 2s and 3s. Now, how about number 1s?
I think we have the same one.
We do.
Yes.
Lake Atitlán?
Yeah.
Yeah, Guatemala, Lake Atitlán. You're talking about a high elevation, so it's cooler. It's a gorgeous lake. It has, I think, 7 villages around it, each with a different character.
Yeah, 7 to 11 villages.
Yeah.
And it's peaceful. You feel the peaceful over there.
Super peaceful, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very laid back.
Yes.
Very beautiful. It's at such a perfect elevation that you don't need heat in the winter. And you don't need air conditioning in the summer. And there's multiple villages. There's a hippie village. There's a party village. There's an artistic village. There's an authentic village. And you take these little water taxis around the lake to go to the various villages. And so it had a very...
And local food is good also.
Yeah, very good local food. But they also had the
yes,
foreign
in
foods.
foreign food in San Pedro is very good also. The price is still cheaper than the Panama.
San Pedro is one of the villages.
Yeah, it's cheaper than the Panama and Costa Rica. I really prefer Antigua a lot.
Yeah, and so just so you know, we're just telling you the ranking of these places, but there's detailed retired chief reports about each one of these places on Vagabond Buddha. And so if you come to the link under this video, you come to a webpage that has these rankings, so you don't need to memorize them. And then in the rankings, there's links you can click and see reports on each of these. Okay, that's those are our top 5 beach or water cities.
Yes.
Let's move on to colonial era cities. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll start. So these are cities that were built during the colonial era, and they've been expanded since. Now these are all independent nations. Number 3 moving towards number 1 was the colonial era in Panama City.
Oh, so your number 3 is?
Panama City.
Panama City.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that San Jose in Costa Rica is considered a colonial or not, but they have some very old, buildings surrounding.
Yeah.
I like San Jose is because there is the cool weather, and also the cost of living is cheaper than the other part of the Costa Rica.
Yeah.
The local food is much, much, much cheaper and much, much, much more delicious.
Yes.
Yes.
It was one of my favorite cities in Costa Rica.
Yes.
And so I get it. So that's your number 3?
There's my number 3 because compared with your Panama City and this one, San Jose is the cost of living will be.
Oh, you're right.
The rental is lower.
Yes.
The rental
Rent,
is lower.
food, everything.
Yeah.
It's a more affordable place than
It's more affordable.
Panama City, no question about it.
Yeah.
Especially in the old town part of Panama City is one of the most expensive areas of Panama City. And
Yes.
Panama City is not a cheap place.
It's not a cheap
so that's
place.
a very good pick. And it does have parts of that city that date all the way back to the colonial era.
Yes.
So that's a fair choice. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Okay, my number 2 is Grenada, Nicaragua.
My number 2 also is a Grenada, Nicaragua.
Yeah.
It's beautiful because we found the haciendas that they have
The hacienda colonial era homes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Inside have a swimming pool,
Yeah.
have security guard and everything. It's about $350 a month.
Grenada it's number 2 of my favorite colonial cities for the reason Chung's saying. It has amazing architecture. It was one of the richest cities in Central America.
Yes.
And so a lot of money was put into these gorgeous buildings that are being restored around Grenada. And it's on Lake 𝐵𝐴𝐻𝐻. And there are a lot of cheaper local food you can eat at, and there's also, if you want to splurge, there's tourist kinds of restaurants in the tourist areas where you can go eat, foods from home and other parts of the world.
And also you will see a lot of aspect in Grenada. It's very surprising to me because it's like, whoa, there's people staying over there.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
And we had a good time there.
Yeah.
And so going up to number 1. What's your number 1 colonial era
we
city?
will have the same.
In part 2 of this video, we'll tell you our favorite colonial era city in all of Central America. We'll tell you our 5 favorite hill stations, cooler mountains, and we'll tell you 4 things that annoy us about Central America. Click right up here to see part 2. It's on Chung's channel. Make sure to comment and subscribe on her channel too. Thanks so much.